Hi, welcome to Why This Now. So just in quick review, if you're just tuning in for the first time, Why This Now is my YouTube channel that I came to out of some health challenges earlier this year. I was having some blood pressure issues at work. I had the same career teaching for 26 years, and between being older and the stress in our new culture of teaching, and my body was just telling me I just needed to be done. So that's the short version. You can go back and watch my Why This Now intro video, and there's more detail there. But this is a place that I want to come and share topics to help encourage you to live your best life now, because every day we don't need to be in that spot of I just have to get through today so I can get to tomorrow. That's not living your best life now. So today's subject is one that I have had some feedback on the content that I shared with some people close in my life, and they are indicating that perhaps it needs to be another part one, part two. I don't know for sure. This might be a little bumpy because this is very close to my heart, the closest thing to my heart to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. And so today's subject is being fearlessly broken, because we all are. In some part of our life, in our past, we've had a hurt, we've had a trauma, we've had a loss that changes you. It changes you forever. It doesn't have to change you in a way that debilitates you in living your best life now, but to honestly recognize that it has changed you. It will help you to move forward in your brokenness. In our world with social media, we always have our perfect pictures on there, and I take the time to set this up in my cozy little space that I love. But when we step out of our perfect little social media snapshot picture of our life, we have to deal with the brokenness, the messiness that is life. So what I want to do in this segment is talk to you about how to recognize what your brokenness is, where it comes from, accept that it is a part of you. And the term, you bury it deep inside, it's overused, but it's accurate. And so I want to encourage you of how to find where you are going to get your strength, find what moving forward looks like, and do that, and reset your brokenness in a way that you can live your best life now, and to put boundaries in place so that you can keep moving forward, because your past hurts, trauma, and loss, they are a part of you. They will never not be a part of you, even when you work through it and live through it. And I will tell you my story here. The greatest of the three for me in my life, which I have experienced all of them, of hurts, trauma, and loss, is loss. And I'm really going to try to get through this without crying. A lot of people that are already following me, thank you for following me. You know the story. So yeah, you know where this is going. Those of you that don't, I give you a brief snapshot, because our favorite subject is always us, right? But my us is my husband and I have been married for 35 years. We have 3 children. That's our us. And this loss didn't affect just me. It affected our family, our friends, our acquaintances, our beautiful relatives that live out of state. And so the day that my greatest brokenness happened was November 17th, 2007. Our 19-year-old son, Kellyanne, died in his sleep. We had made plans to go shopping that morning, the night before, and I'm very thankful that we had which we always say every night, I love you, I'll see you tomorrow. And we had made plans, and I had have a goodnight kiss and hug, and he was living at home. And I went up next morning to wake him up, and he had already passed. I called 911 and did CPR on him until the paramedics got there. I called my husband, who was working in Philadelphia. I had to tell him. I called our 2 kids that were down living at ASU and let them know. And from that moment on, our world was changed. I can say now, this many years later, that it is not okay that it changed. Obviously, I would rather have Killian here. But I also, because our faith, we all share it, that we know that we will all live together forever in heaven one day. Now, knowing that gave me an anchor to move forward, but it did not make it any smoother, I think, than anyone who doesn't have that anchor, because you have to put your feet to action and your brain to action to move through grief, to move through loss. And loss can be it doesn't have to be the death of someone. There are many ways that we experience loss. So before I move on to the steps that I've worked through and that I hope to offer you, I want you can pause the video, or some people can think as I'm talking. I am not one of those. But think about the greatest hurt, trauma, or loss. Be honest with yourself. And then I hope that what I can offer you, that you can employ that into working through what you need to work through to live your best life now, even with it. We can't cure the loss. I can't bring Killian back. We can't cure the trauma. You can't undo the trauma that's already happened. You can't undo the hurt that has already happened. Those are permanent events in your life that are a part of your personality and a part of your character and a part of when you move forward, you're going to take that with you. But how do you do that? How do you move forward and do that? So one of the first things that I found was that living with despondency and anger and these feelings of desolation, that is not something I wanted to dwell in and live within for the rest of my life. So then it was, I did seek grief counseling about 5 months after Killian died. So if you need to seek counseling, you need to take care of that. If you want to email me or put something in comments, I can give you some resources and help get you started and direct you in those directions if you don't have somebody in your life already that can help you get to those resources. It's important to make that first step. So that is step 1. Find the help you need for what your hurt, trauma, or loss is. You may not understand all of the ways that it's affecting you, and I guarantee you, because I found it as well, that there were additional facets in my life that I didn't realize that this was affecting. So then, and one of the things is, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to walk away and be by yourself, I call it spiraling. I have a time where sometimes it just comes out of the blue and I feel like I need to get out of wherever I am. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes I'm having dinner with friends or family, or I'm at a fun event, and I just know that there's a sadness that's coming over me, and I need to walk away, and I need to go get by myself, and I need to go regroup. And whatever that healthy regrouping looks like, it's okay. You need to do that. You need to be able to give yourself permission to do that, but then honestly share with the people in your lives, this is what's happening. I'm gonna go just take some time. In our family, my family knows and my friends know, and they pray for me when I go. And usually it's passing. It just takes a little bit of time, but it is important to take care of that. All right. So that's part of the reset. Understand how you're triggered. Understand when you are. understand what you need to do for your behavior, your emotional behavior and a physical behavior, a spiritual behavior. And we talked about those in the last segment with what habits are if your habits are helping you. So let that be your reset. Write it down if you need to write it down. Have an accountability person that you need to talk to help you stay on track with those things. Everybody's journey looks different. And then one of the other things that I really found that I needed to do was to make sure that I put boundaries in place. I have a lot of people that with good intentions, but they just wanted to know all the details of how Killian died or what led up to it and all of those things. And I finally got to the point where I said, you know what? His life was not a CSI episode. No, thank you. His life was filled with love and laughter and friends, and he had so many wonderful things that he was offering to the world. That's what you're getting from me. And we just need to be done with that. And I got to the point where I was really, some people kind of were taken aback, but the ones that realized that, oh, this is a healthy boundary, and really this is a much healthier response and a respectful response. And I think we get desensitized a little bit by all the TV shows and the media and all that, and that's a whole nother segment, and I don't even think that's really something I need to address on YouTube. So anyway, so when you are recognizing where your brokenness is, resetting what you need to do, set your boundaries of how you're going to maintain that. Keep your head up. Keep moving forward. Some days when you just don't feel like it, it's that do it anyway. Please do it anyway. Because the more that you do that and the more habits that you get into of doing that, the healthier you'll be able to be, and you'll be able to get through talking about it. Actually, I didn't cry this time. I was concerned, but and it could have gone that way too. If there's more that you want me to talk about, I can. Just put it in comments or email me at whythisnow63@gmail.com. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. I am on Instagram also, and learning how to navigate that. It's been fun. I have a great sister, Evelyn, yay, helping me, and both of my kids helping me too. So my whole reason for doing this is because I want to encourage you to live your best life now in your Why This Now. And as always, I wish you joy, peace, and hope to live your best life now, always. Thanks for joining me.